Right, and you've got rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah.
Right, and how long have you had it for?
I was diagnosed with 16 years ago.
Right. Okay. Now,
my rheumatologist keeps saying to me, eliminate stress.
eliminate stress. No,
Yeah.
no, so
Yeah, what do you
they are saying the wrong words. I know exactly what they mean, but I'm going to show you a different way. I can, hand on my heart, absolutely say that all the rheumatoid arthritis from your body can be removed. Now that's going to change your life.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So I want you to imagine what your life's going to be like without rheumatoid arthritis. So while I'm doing the healing, I want you to imagine running through a day, you wake up feeling refreshed and you can't believe it. Oh my goodness me, nothing in your body hurts. Yeah? So you start doing that and then run through what you do in your day. All right. Okay. Now some people watching this will say, I'm using suggestion or I'm using NLP or whatever. Have you guys seen a guy called Darren Brown? You see Darren Brown? Yeah, he's good. I'm a big Darren Brown fan. I've not watched that much of his work, but what I have seen I've liked. But he ain't always getting it right. Because there are invisible beings that can fix our bodies. There are other things that exist that he may not be aware of yet because he's not had his own experience. In the same way that if you'd met me 30 years ago, I'd have thought I was a Fruit Loop. Because I'd never seen a ghost. I've seen 2 ghosts in all that time. Ghosts are different to spirits. The beings that work with me, some are spiritual beings, some will be recognised by the Roman Catholic faith, and some are a different kind of being. And I really, really struggle to put into words what they are, but I do have them on camera. Which is always useful, isn't it? Eh? For the skeptics. Okay. Now, this is the thing. So when I do this work, it's the spirit doctors that do the healing. All healing comes from God. Now, because I have trained in NLP, I'm an NLP practitioner, I'm not daft. I know how to use language to help speed up the process. On the physical level, there may be something I say to a person to get a little breakthrough in terms of how they perceive things. But at the end of the day, it's not the NLP that's healing them, it is the spirit surgeons. And believe you me, if it was me healing them, I would just say it's me. I don't mind saying it's me if it's me, but I can't say it's me if it's not, can I? Yeah? So, and it's not. And I know that they all work with God. They work in alignment with the will of God. They all absolutely believe in God. I've had my moments where I did believe in God, moments where I didn't believe in God, but the fact that they absolutely believe in God, they can do these amazing things, it sort of exists then, well, God must exist. And this is the way I also see it. When I was little, my grandma said to me that God was everywhere and God was invisible. And the discussion came because one day we lived in Sheffield, and Sheffield's very hilly. We were on one hill, then there was a valley, another hill, and coming through the clouds was sunlight, like gold, you know, when that lovely effect. And I thought that must be God, and my grandma said no. God's everywhere, all of the time, God is invisible. Think about it. What is everywhere, all of the time, and is invisible? You're sat in it right now, it's the space. Yeah? You exist in the space. The space is all around you. You can't go anywhere but be in the space. You can't see the space. We can't measure it. We could suck all the gases out of this room, but the space would still be here. Wherever I go, I'm always in God. I'm always in the space. Now, when you close your eyes, just try closing your eyes. Let your awareness go within. Now, when you close your eyes, do you feel like a skeleton? Do you feel like a beating heart and a blood circulation system? No, you don't. You feel like space. You can let yourself be aware of the space in the room, just noticing it's there. Then let yourself be aware of the space within you. They feel the same. If you don't move any part of your body, it's really, really hard to discern what's you and what's out there. And the illusion that the spiritual teachers talk about, it's that we're separate, that we're in this body. We've forgotten that we're all connected. Everything I feel and think flows out of me into the space. Everything you feel and think flows outwards into the space. Our thoughts and our feelings flow out forever. So there's a certain responsibility we have to observe our thoughts and observe our feelings. And we've got this wonderful little device called a body that lets us know if what we're thinking is good for us or not. If you're thinking a good thought, the feelings that arise within you, the chemistry that arises within you will be good, it will feel good. That's how you know the thought is good. But if you think a thought that's not so good, I'm stressed, I'm going to have rheumatoid arthritis for the rest of my days and it's going to get worse, the chemistry in your body is going to get worse. Okay, now, back to rheumatoid arthritis, you can all open your eyes again. Okay, but what I'm going to get you to do is, with eyes open, see the space as well as the people. This will create a shift within your awareness. See the space as well as the people. I'll give you an example. Imagine you go home and it's messy. And inside of you, you don't feel stressed, yeah? Because it's messy. Right, next time that happens, some of you will thank me for this, some of you will be really cross with me for this one. Next time it happens, see the space around the mess. Won't bother you. That's why I don't do housework. See, I told you some of you would love me for this one. All right, if you can see the space around the mess, yeah? When you next you sat in traffic, instead of you churning because you're going to be late, see the space. See the space. Notice the other cars. Do notice when the tail lights change. It's time to move forward. Yeah, but if you can see the space as well, it's a shift in your consciousness, it's a shift in your awareness, okay? Now, rheumatoid arthritis, usually the person wants things just so. You want your marriage just so. You want the house just so. We shouldn't do that to any man ever. All right? Well, none of us are supposed to be perfect. God, if you were perfect, there'd be no point coming here. You come here with some abilities and some blind spots. You come here with some things to learn, you come here with some things you want to achieve. But when you learn the most, you learn the most when you stuff up. The day I reversed into a parked car, I learned a lot that day. I will never ever have that happen again. Yeah? You learn the most when you make a mistake. All right. Now, one of the things we can get caught up with here is the choices that we have to make. Life is a series of choices. Now, some of the choices you make, as soon as you've made them, you know it was the right choice. But some of them, as soon as you've done it, you know it was the wrong choice. Yeah? When that happens, you need to put it right. You need to just apologise, whether you've got egg on your face, whatever. No, sorry, I screwed up. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. All right? But some people are scared of making choices in case they do it wrong. Yeah? Don't. You're going to be stuck. Make a choice. If you buy a house, you think it's the right house, and then it turns out it wasn't, move. If you meet a fella, you marry him because you think he's the one for you, and it turns out he's a philandering little toe rag, leave him. Get divorced. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. There's time for you to make another choice. Yeah? Cool. Right, now where do you get most pain?
It reminded me of my elbows and ankles, but my ankles, since you've been working on me, my ankles are just jelly light.
They're just jelly light now, that's good. So we'll work on the elbows. Now, elbows usually are to do with work.
Yeah.
So that would say work is too hard, or it's the wrong kind of work at the moment, okay? So different tissues in your body, different organs, different parts of your body process different feelings, which I find fascinating. If you've got a burden, a responsibility being your shoulders, we shoulder burdens, we start going like this, yeah? Elbows are work, legs are standing up for ourselves, knees are being flexible, right side of the body is to do with the future, left side is to do with the past. So there's something here that needs to change with the word work. We are moving as a species from a world where we all run like rats on a wheel trying to pay bills to a world where we give our gifts freely. We're moving into what's called the gifting time. And some of us will be gifting things in our time. The stuff I do for free, the stuff I do that you pay for. Yeah? Charging people means that I can then, when I've got somebody who's terminated a bill, I can work with them, I can travel at my own expense, I can fly in a plane if I need to, I can spend time with them because I've got income from the charging side of my activities, yeah? Yeah, and as a species, that's what's going to happen. People will be earning money on the one hand, but then doing some kind of voluntary work, gifting their time on the other. And we're going to gradually transition to a gifting society where we all give up our gifts freely. and then humans are really going to start learning and we're going to start coming into our own. We've had an educational system that has failed us. For the last 200 years, it has just been creating rats to work in factories. It has not started to tap into human potential, not even remotely. Yeah, you were just given things that the authorities thought you should know. Over here in New Zealand, my daughter at 15 had to do a year of algebra in maths, a year. A whole year of algebra. Have you ever used algebra in real life? It would have been much better for her to manage the household budget for a year, or to learn about compound interest or credit cards, or a million and one other things that involve maths. But algebra for a whole year? It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah? History, the history you've been taught, his story, written by the men usually, not by the women, written by the victors in war. You don't hear the other side. So it's not, strictly speaking, true. And science, there's a story, it's one of the most reputed medical schools in the world. As they were signing off the end-of-year graduates, the professor emeritus stood up and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we are so proud of you. You've got your families here, they are so proud of you. You've worked so hard. It's been 5 years of study and we know how much it's taken its toll on you. Before we send you out into the world to do good, there are 2 things we must tell you. Number 1, half of what we told you is not true. And we don't know which half." It's a worry, isn't it? Try that one out, see how that's feeling.
Yeah, that's a lot better than I've done here.
Yeah, cool. All right, so all this is toxins. It's toxins in the system. Now, how do the toxins get in? Right, there's different kinds of toxins. We can breathe something in. If you were around as a kid somebody who smoked, you can breathe in the toxins, yeah? In our homes, my grandma used I know it was under my grandma's sink because I used to climb under there, sunlight soap and a bottle of domestic bleach, and that was it. There was no window cleaner, she used newspapers. Everything was washed in sunlight soap. The front step, sunlight soap. We didn't have furniture polishers, fly sprays, air fresheners, toilet sprays. You know, often these things have never been tested on humans. We don't know what they do, and the combination of them, that's never ever been tested. Over 80,000 different chemicals now in the home. That Mr. Muscle oven cleaner, I better not mention things by name, but it's too late now, not to be used by a pregnant woman. Yeah, one of the things I love to do is go out into ladies' homes and I offer to clean your oven. And I don't need rubber gloves, I don't need you to open a window. It's an enzyme eating cleaning product that doesn't smell. Isn't it better to use something like that than something that pregnant women might miscarry? You know, scary stuff. And so what happens in our bodies is our bodies haven't changed for tens of thousands of years. As far as we know, the human body's not changed. We've still got a liver. We've still got gallbladder, kidneys. What happens is the blood passes through the liver and the liver extracts any toxins. The liver will then direct the toxins to the gallbladder to come out in the feces or to the kidneys to come out in the urine. But some days the liver can't cope. If you have any alcohol whatsoever in a day, chances are the liver can't cope with any of the toxins. So the toxins have to go somewhere, and they go in the intracellular space, as the space around the cells. You don't want them breaking into the cell wall, because if they do, you might get cancer or some other disease. So the body's wisdom pushes them into the extremities, it pushes them into your toes. If you get achy toes, gout, toxins. Yeah. Into your fingers, people start to get arthritis in their hands, usually it's toxins, it's just toxins. Once you know it's toxins, then all you've got to do is find a way to get the toxins out. Yeah? Yeah? Cool. Now, your consultant said, don't stress.
He said relieving myself of stress would definitely help.
Relieving yourself of stress will definitely help.
All right. Minimizing stress.
Yeah. All right, okay. So let's look at what stress is. Stress is caused by anything that isn't how you want it to be. So in this room at the moment, if it's not warm enough for you, your body's going to be slightly stressed. If it's too warm for you, your body's going to be slightly stressed. All right, now I want you to think about this. Nowadays, in our modern bodies, if it's 1 or 2 degrees out, we're changing, aren't we? We're noticing and feeling uncomfortable, and we go and turn up the thermostat. Back in my grandparents' day, they either had a fire on or not. Yeah? But now we're like super sensitive. One of the very best things I've found for people that've got any kind of anxiety or stress is this. You want to know?
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant and it costs you nothing. All right? It's a cold shower. All right? If you have a cold shower in the morning, I'm going to explain exactly how to do it. If you have a cold shower, you go, that cold, yeah? Your whole body goes into like survival mode. So what I do, if I'm noticing that I'm running on adrenaline, if I notice that there's something in my life is stressing me, yeah? What I do is on a morning, I get in, have a warm shower, I flick it onto cold for 30 seconds. Back to warm for 30 seconds. Back to cold for 30 seconds. Back to, because that 30 seconds sometimes like 5 hours, it feels like 5 hours. Back to warm, back to cold. Now, the downside of this, the first time I did this, I was on tour in the South Island with 2 girlfriends. We were a week before they dared talk to me about the sounds that were coming out of the bathroom when I was in the shower. They thought I got a little friend in there with me. A little vibrating friend. And when I explained, no, I was just turning the shower on cold, they were like, oh. And so then they both had to try it as well, because, you know, like, what that does is then whatever stress happens in the day, you get a parking ticket. You're late for a meeting. Relative to that ice cold shower that morning, it is nothing. It is nothing. And I reckon a lot of our teenagers, when I see teenagers that are stressed and anxious, I just say to them, just get them in a cold shower, seriously. Because now you've got something to complain about, haven't you? A cold shower. Yeah? It's true. Yeah? What have we got to complain about compared to our grandparents? My grandparents, from time to time, Harry and Sarah, they'll come in through my eyes and they look where I live. And I live in a rental, but I'm right on the beach. They had a 2 up, 2 down. They look and they're like, this is paradise. You must be a millionaire. No, I'm not a millionaire. I've made certain choices about how I live. But to them, you think about your grandparents and how you live. You are now living like a millionaire, aren't you, compared to how, yeah? What have you know, Grandma used to worry about not having any, it was stew and bread and dripping, and it had to last the whole week. And I look back now, I used to mash the potatoes, and I like butter on the mashed potatoes. Grandma would say, no, only that much. As soon as I thought she wasn't looking, I'd be taking. They went without butter on the potatoes for the rest of the week, because I'd eaten the butter. I didn't know that, and I felt really guilty when I realised years later that, hell, because she didn't have any spare money, and that she wasn't being mean, she was just saying that's a pack of butter, we've got 5 days, so we've got to divide it into 5. We haven't got anything to worry about, have we, by their standards? Yeah? She got the worry of the husband or the son being sent to war. Yeah, again, we've got nothing to worry about, have we, by their standards? So going back to stress, stress is caused by anything that isn't how you want it to be. All right? So this is the antidote. Yes! You're going to say yes to everything that happens. Parking jam. Yes! More time in the car to listen to music on loud. Yeah? Whatever happens, I put on 2 more kilos. Yes! I've got to think of something really, really good for that one. It's going to keep me warm on the cold nights. Handlebars, darling.
What about buying new clothes? Buying a new
wardrobe. To buy a new wardrobe. Yes, yes.
Don't encourage it. I get a good definition of stress is pressure plus negative energy. You like, if you're in business and you make widgets and you make 1,000 widgets a month, all of a sudden you get an order for 2,000 a month, double. You have a choice of saying, let's get on with it,
yeah,
let's do it,
exciting.
Let's get some more team members, or, oh no, how are we going to do this? You know, I'm going to have to get more people in. So
it's a mental thing, yeah. There's a thing, it's like a curve that goes up like that. We all need pressure. If there was no pressure in your life, you'd be stressed. If there was absolutely no pressure, there was, you know, you didn't have to do anything, you'd actually be stressed because of the lack of pressure. And we need like the optimal pressure. yeah, to work within that range. But stress is 100% perception. Let me give you an example. You're crossing a road, you've got a friend with you, they've got a Walkman on, well, we don't call them Walkmans now, but headphones on, yeah? And there's a screech of brakes, there's a car hurtling towards you, you see it, you nearly soil your trousers, they're completely oblivious. Stress is 100% perception. What's stressful to you guys, like if you had to stand in front of an audience of 2,000, you'd probably be like, my knee's knocking. I'd be like, yeah, bring it on, that's more people to fix. It's 100% perception, yeah? And so for you, it's about, I do the cold shower thing. It sounds crazy, but I do the cold shower thing to really like shock your system so that you're not feeling anxious about smaller things, yeah? And see how that elbow's feeling, Chris?
What bit of it is still like just in here, but that, I mean, my moved in here tomorrow, I felt quite crippled.
Yeah.
And my ankles are fine.
All right, so I'm just going to repeat what Michelle said because that might not be
Oh,
properly. So when she walked in here, she felt quite crippled. The ankles are fine now. There's just a tiny little bit left in the elbows. Yeah, yeah. And I would get yourself on the purple powder. That would be my recommendation because I can't say it will fix the condition because there's all kinds of laws saying why I mustn't do that. But I have seen a significant number of people get good results with it. So yeah, I'd give it a go. Thank you.